Get in, nerds, we're playing Victoria 3. We're gonna conquer Egypt, or at least we're gonna conquer enough of it that Egypt is gonna stop being a power. So, let's go ahead and do it. Yada da da, may side with us. Oh man, this is excellent. This is excellent. I don't think there's anyone who's gonna side with them who's gonna matter here, so let's do it. I'm gonna add Sinai, Upper Egypt, and Middle Egypt. Oh, interesting. We don't have enough maneuvers to add all of them. And Great Britain has a sway we would accept, so that's good. Otherwise, everybody. And let's get these guys pushing on the necessary parts. So, what does Great Britain want? Ban slavery. Oh, but I can't because I don't have any maneuvers. Well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure they'll be fine with it. I can't believe I ran myself out of maneuvers. I feel really silly. But it is what it is. I mean, hopefully this won't take too long because my taxation situation is rough. I'm also gonna... Yeah, we're still pressing down on the local governors. That is doing a lot of work for us. The only really thing I can do to keep my finances in order is add another... I could go up to high taxes, but I really don't want to do that. Let's see. Great Britain is not entering. I think they're gonna fight. I would hope they're gonna fight. I'm currently not claiming any of these territories. It's just the sort of urbanized north, so I'm hoping this will be fine. Closing in on finish with suppressed separatism, so this will complete reclaim Egypt if they fight, which I hope they will. Both of the other potential countries are neutral. We have the wine event. We're going to make this product for export. That's going to help with our prestige. Just a little bit. Alright, go back to speed 4 here. I actually won't be very happy if they back down, but we'll see. Excellent. That's a little bit of extra authority for one more consumption tax. And 2 arms. So as you can see, we have a large advantage here in the east, and then in the west we have a small advantage. So I'm hoping this war goes nice and easy, and we don't end up with anything wild and unbelievable happening here. Alright, it's looking good so far. We've got the advantage in terms of numbers and in terms of overall strength. Do we have our armed forces bonus? We don't. But we do have the bonuses from them having high wages. So we're gonna... I think we're gonna be fine. We're still in the black on the week-to-week basis, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. Good, we got a victory here. Likely to have a victory here. Very good. Alright, so that's capturing us parts of... No, we're right on the line here. But hopefully we'll get more going in this way. It's looking like that's going to happen. And we've got another battle going on here. This one's looking less decisive than the one in the east, but I think it will still be a success for us. And this is us winning against them. Our flags are pretty similar, but not that similar. And we're continuing to win over here. So the battle in the west on the Tripolitania front is probably going to take a long time to resolve itself. Spring interest. Okay, interesting. Why are we We have greater exhaustion than them. Let me see. Because the enemy controls 100% of their war goals. And we don't have any space in those 3 areas. Well, that's okay. We are still gaining... Oh my goodness. A huge shortage on... Okay, well, we can stop improving... On influence. We can stop improving relations with France. That's going to save us an amount. Greece, too. I still want to be improving relations with Russia, because I don't want to be fighting them. Our rank is pretty low, but we'll be able to go back up in rank once these wars are done. Because we'll be able to be back... Greece all these places are damaging relations. Am I infamous? No, I'm not. I don't really see why y'all are clamoring to fight me at this time in history. Greece, you boffins. Why would you do this? It's looking like the rural folk want protectionism. That's unfortunate. Our enemy is definitely gaining, losing war support faster than we are now. I'm going to set the objective to Upper Egypt, just so that we continue to push in that direction. We're losing convoys, so I'm going to set up convoy escort. So that's going to sort that situation out. These 2 battles should merge these fronts. And they aren't merged. Why not? Because this is technically Tripolitania. I don't... Oh, it's not our front here. It's our front to somewhere else. We're trading with Great Britain. Alright, so that should cover this trade node where the convoy sinking is happening. That should allow us to continue to progress here. Now, does the enemy still have war goal protection? They do not, because I've got their capital completely occupied. So I don't have all of these territories occupied, but I've got a hold of their capital. So they should be losing war support at a rapid rate compared to us, which is true. We're losing 1.22. They're losing 5.81. So this is actually going really well for us. I think this war is basically... Oh boy, Golden Guiana. This war is... Everything's coming up Ottoman Empire. Yeah, I guess... I'm really used to thinking of Egypt as the Egypt in the 1.0, which was a lot stronger. I'm going to go ahead and increase our government wages. That should help with our... Yay, there we go. Our prestige is back where it's supposed to be, and we're back at number 7. And that's given us a little bit more influence. Are you still rivaling us, Greece? Sure. I'll be happy to be a rival with you. But I want to start improving relations with France again. I can probably take Greece. You are in a defensive pact with the Ionian Islands. Yeah, I can probably fight Greece for Greece. France signs the EIC. Well, what is this? The EIC and Britain are fighting. Great Britain wants to take some territory from the East India Company, and in exchange, the East India Company has leveraged France to help them by promising transfer of Van Diemen's Land, which is Tasmania. Good luck with that. This doesn't seem like it matters, so I'm going to stay out of it. I'm just going to finish my war here. I don't want to get involved in a fight with Great Britain or India or anything like that. So, just want to focus on finishing my fight here. So what this means is, I know I'm short on... Why do I keep losing influence? Okay, well, I'll stop improving relations with France for the moment, because I don't want to lose prestige. And that's the end of the war. So that is the Reclaim Egypt Tanzimat journal entry completed. So that is 3 out of 4. And if we are able to continue with our suppressed separatism, one will be in really good shape. So let's fix up our production methods for our new buildings. Do want to produce cannons, market squares, gas streetlights. Use soil enriching for our wheat farms. We do have some variants here. I'm just checking if we've got any that are focusing on one crop, which there are not. Livestock ranches, we want to go to the more productive methods there. Fishing wharves, we're mostly on merchant guilds, so let's keep it that way. Alright. For our barracks, let's get these folks on the modern methods. For ports, we'll go to cargo port. And these are spread out because they're spread out, but it is what it is. So alright. I'm just going to quickly check our cultures here. So we do have a certain amount of turmoil. I think a lot of these cultures will end up being accepted if we can change down from national supremacy to racial segregation, which I do want to do. Why do we only have 8% success? Is it because these guys are... Oh, yes. We let the, their petition time out. Because we had to do it. So, but that shouldn't be a problem. So they're very unhappy with us. But this will die down eventually. We still have tons of radicals. Just absolutely bananas numbers of radicals. Let's go ahead and incorporate the areas we've just taken. That should help with our finances. And let's go ahead and get law enforcement up at least a little bit. Whispers of insurrection. We've seen this before. This is happening in Diyarbakir. Over here. So my question is, this will make Austria mad. Is Austria... Relations with Austria are good. I'm just gonna not... We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully nothing bananas will happen. Gosh, we caused a lot of devastation in these areas. This was a devastating war. But hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. How are we now losing money? Probably took some extra construction sectors and barracks and whatnot. Still, I don't want to reduce government wages again. Although I will go ahead and reduce military wages. We're still in a rough place financially. But the incorporation of the new territory will help with that. Are we on modern government administration? Yeah, because we got higher government administration. That must be what happened. Nice. But yeah, and now we're just waiting out for suppressed separatism to finish, which should not be long now. This needs to go for a total of 15 years. It is December of 48. Oh boy. Right in the Assyrian quarter. We've seen this before. This is that same event when we have a mob that shows up to go after our religious minorities. I think I'm going to go ahead and spend the money because I don't want to have a problem, because again, we really need to keep separatism down, and some of these populations have significant turmoil, and I don't want to have high turmoil. We have some Ukrainians somewhere. Where, I wonder? That's very curious. Probably up here. I'm going to assume close to Ukraine. Yeah, here we go. We have a 150-person Ukrainian community in Dobruja. We have... Oh boy. Well, this is interesting. We have a revolutionary movement for homesteading. This will radicalize the local governors. I do have a defensive pact with Great Britain, though. So, I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to hope that that allows us to do what we need to do. It's make or break time. But if we can hold until this ends, we'll have a good situation. Order restored in Diyarbakir. Allah Sukhur. So, this will complete at the end of first year of the game is 1536, so it'll complete at the end of 1850. So if we can complete this, we should be good to go. We'll see. This appears to be going pretty well, so if we can get to the end of... if we can get this homesteading to get passed without having a revolutionary anti-homesteading movement, I would be very, very happy. A bunch of Bosnian people are moving to Bahia in Brazil. Best of luck to them. No, they can do as they like, I say. Happily, our intelligentsia are much happier now that we're doing this homesteading thing. The local governors are very unhappy. We'll see how that goes. Ottoman Empire is kind of a powder keg. Let's look at incorporation. We got 5 years to incorporation for these new areas. So, hopefully that won't be too rough. So, I think in terms of expansion, here's our playwright. Oof, I would love to get that permanent prestige bonus. But, on the other hand, I really need success here, so I'm just going to do that. Really hoping for a level of success, but can't complain when you're trying to go from serfdom to homesteading. Everyone's supporting this. I'm surprised that the rural folk aren't part of this movement, but you know, it is what it is. All right, let's take a look at our construction situation. Yeah, our construction sector got a little larger. We got 1, 2, 3 more construction sectors. That's got to be part of what we're spending all this money on. So, if I reduce military wages... No, I don't want to do that. I want to keep this going where it is. Best not to rock the boat at a time like this. Let's go ahead and increase policing a little bit more. Because what this is going to do is this is going to reduce state turmoil effects. Alright, there we go. So, this is our movement to preserve serfdom. I think this will still complete because this is not a secession movement. So let's go ahead with this. I think we can largely rely on British assistance to make this work. especially if we can get homesteading going. Yeah, I think we're going to have to fight our own landowners on this, with the help of Great Britain. Please help me, Great Britain. Our relations are very, very good. I really, really do desire to not have all of my recent gains lost. So, I think we're going to go ahead and just start. Going to put our current development plans on hold to build up a bunch of military in the capital, and we'll see how that goes. The Waffling Revolutionary. Admiral Pasha, an associate of the revolutionary local governors, is known to have some doubts about his convictions. It may be possible to use that hesitancy to the government's advantage. Friends, it's not that I don't want the uprising to happen. I'm concerned about, I'm in a good position. Let's just, what do I do? What do I do? We could press him. If he gets fence sitter, encourages reconciliation, that would be good for us. Would increase the interest group approval and change the progress of civil war by -10. Very good. But it could increase it as well. Or I could arrest him. He might escape. I'm tempted to do this. Cool, I think it worked. I'm not sure. Okay. Do a promotion. Sevad Pasha is a brigadier general. Sunyalema jingoist. Sure. Yeah, we need to keep our interest groups happy right now. Organize crime in Diyarbakir. Put some funds into stomping it out. Or sure the authorities continue to produce authority. Ugh. It's less funds either way, but this won't affect anything that much. I'm hoping we can get... I'm not... normally I would walk you through the math on this whole situation, but to be completely honest, I just don't think it matters that much. We're going to do homesteading, and I think we have the power to beat the local governors if Great Britain helps, which I hope they're going to. So, I think this will be something wild. Oh my goodness, civil war in the United States. The rebels' doctor. We've seen this event a bunch of times. It's Eastern Thrace, though. So basically we have to choose between radical academics in Eastern Thrace or radical academics all over. Almost all of our academics are in Eastern Thrace, so all over is the better call. Come on, go to adoption. Oh, a stall. Gosh. Family always comes first. A court clash over homesteading erupts between a few families. The early bird homesteaders each claim the same land in Adana. The dispute has called the legislation into question. 3 claims, all issued by the same office, crossed the magistrate's desk. The details were correct. All 3 had legal writs to the same plot of land. Each bore a different signature. The magistrate knew the pen strokes of those clerks well. Surely there was a mistake, though such a simple explanation wouldn't satisfy the wild looks in the family matriarch's eyes. Void the writs and organize reparations. This slows us down. Find the earliest signee and grant them the land. This pisses off the rural folk. Divide the land between all 3. This pisses off the landowners. I'm going to piss off the rural folk because they're getting the lion's share of this. And they'll live with it, but I need to avoid pissing off the local governors, because if I can get their opinion high enough, they might stop being insurrectionary over here. Well, thanks, Montenegro. I'm glad you've stopped damaging our mutual relations, because I really, really don't want to have to deal with a problem from you right now. I don't really know what kind of problem you might cause us. What is with our freaking finances? Heavy-handedness. You've seen this one before. Since 50% chance of positive ownership. This is our agitator. Is it? No, this is our leader. I don't want to reduce his popularity right now. But then again, I do want to slow down the revolution. This seems bad. So I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, I don't know that this can happen. I don't know that I can stymie this right now. But I'm going to have to increase taxes. Because I don't know what's going on with our finances right now. But, oh, you know what? No, I don't need to increase taxes. What I need to do is pause construction. Is this that big of a difference? I guess it is. Oh, because I was on the middle one, the second one before. Alright, so that should help with that. If I can get enough events to reduce revolution by... If I can get an event to reduce it by more than, well, 15% at this point. Every tendency of the local governors in Ankara is rental prices beyond reasonable limits. Their tenants direct their ire at the government for not protecting them. Humans have two reactions in times of strife: seek culpability for their woes and address it accordingly, a sign of strength or fatal stupidity. Philosophers would debate until the end of their days. They do agree it is not a sign of intelligence. The blame can be shifted, and those most culpable profit most of all. Seize the ringleaders. This throws down... this slows up the revolution and reduces the political strength... Or this speeds up the revolution, but reduces the political strength of the governors. They ought to be charged with extortion. That makes the rural folk happy and reduces throughput of plantations. Our rent needs a stern limit. This slows down the Civil War progress. Late rent controls, which increases standard of living, but radicalizes aristocrats. It's interesting. I don't know that... This radicalizes aristocrats more. I think we gotta do this one, friends. I don't know that it really helps, but it seems like the most sensible. Artisan speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Mustafa Bashatli, leader of the rural folk, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of homesteading. Making an appearance before the public in Constantinople's main square, Mustafa Bashatli's powerful rhetoric left even the most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across the Ottoman Empire, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path of reform greatly. Performances like this reflect well on Mustafa Bashatli and his cause. Which guy is this? Is it you? No. You're head of the rural folk. Interesting. You're a moderate. I don't really see the benefit of strengthening the rural folk right now, so I'm just going to take the easing the path to reform. So at this point, we've committed to the bit, as it were, with the bit being fighting our own landowners. But again, I think Great Britain will be able to help with this. Is Great Britain currently in a war? It is, but it seems to be going fine for them, so... Leastwise, I'm hoping it's going fine for them, because I really, really don't want to lose this. We'll see how this goes. And there's the diplomatic play. So, let's go ahead and mobilize all of our generals. That's the revolution. That's the sound of revolution happening. So, what have we held? We've held the entire Balkans. And we've held all of Egypt. And we've held Basra down here. So, 35 on the main front seems like a good call. I'm going to grab our smallest army and have it sort the Balkan territories. I'm going to have... I also have these islands here. I'm going to keep our strongest force close to the capital, because I think that's generally the best way to do things. Aegean Islands is isolated, can't do anything about that now. Who can I sway? Great Britain will definitely help, alright. We have an unmanned front, but not an undefended front, rather, but not anywhere that it appears we can deal with things. So I'm going to drop government wages again, try to keep us solvent while we do this. But again, this should complete at the end of the year, and that would help us a lot, I think. Oh, interesting. We're under strength here. So what if we move you here, we move you to the capital. And, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and activate the conscripts everywhere we've got them. I think this is just one of those situations where we need to bring up as many troops as we can. Do I have... Oh, I have available troops here. These are all local governors, guys. Weird. We're going to go with you, and we're going to promote you, though, because... Wait, is there a new guy that's armed forces? There are 2 now. Lovely. You're a protectionist. That should be good enough. So we'll put both of these armies here in the south. Glad I checked on that. And we have you over here. We're going to put you in the main front. Actually, no. Put you on this front here. Alright, that gives us an advantageous position on most of our fronts. And over here we should have complete superiority, which we do. Beautiful. Come on, let's move to adoption. Excellent. So we have advantages on all the fronts where we've got troops. So I'm hoping we'll be able to survive this and win. And this will completely break the power of the landowners, as you may know. Stay hydrated. With that having been said, this episode has gone on about half an hour, so I guess this isn't going to be the last one of the Tanzimat process. So I think we're going to have to do another. With that having been said, I've had fun, I hope you've had fun, and I'll see you all on the other side.